Yo, welcome to the 31st edition of the Transparency Podcast. I go by the name of Big O. I got my guy here, Moody. How you doing, bro?
What it do, fam? What's going on?
Chilling, man. How was your, I know we was off last week. How was your Father's Day, man?
Man, Father's Day was immaculate. You know, Father's Day weekend was just such an inspiration, appreciation, love. It was Juneteenth weekend.
Juneteenth, yeah, that's true.
You know, it was just a blessing of a weekend. You know, I proposed to my lady over that weekend. Yes, I did that. Clap it up for that.
Clap it up for
that. Clap it up for Black love. Clap it up for love. Man. Clap it up for people who just, making decisions on, union in life, and that's where I'm at. So it was just a blessing. It was a beautiful weekend, man. I cannot complain. That whole weekend, man, I was in the house. I proposed to it at my house. My brother was there. He recorded it for me. I told him to, come through. I had got some champagne. I got some roses for her. She had no idea.
No idea.
We cooked on the grill a little bit. I cooked some food. And it was just, something I felt like it was time for me to do. And I felt good about it, man. I was a little nervous, for sure. Yeah. Anybody, who have ever done it before, I guess that's just comes with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I felt a little nervous. So you of course married, correct?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not married? Oh, snap. No, I thought she was.
So I was married. So we
you went through. Okay, go ahead.
So I've been engaged before. I've been married before.
Okay.
About 3 different rings. That's a lot of money. So my ex-wife.
That's a lot of money.
My ex-wife. I proposed to her when we were teenagers, when we got out of school. That wasn't too smart, but I felt like at the time, I will say we were young. We was trying to do the right thing. I always was in church and listening to, I was in Catholic church. And to me, that doesn't matter. But, I was taught to, hey, y'all creating a family together. You should go ahead and propose to her. I proposed to her. And we was engaged for a little while, and then we broke up, and we went through our little teenage stages and blah, blah, blah. But then we rekindled our flame, maybe 4 years later, and it seemed right at the time. So we ended up getting married. We was married for a little while, and then we decided to go our separate ways. But we have 3 beautiful children together.
Okay.
So I mean I know a lot of people say, hey, and I noticed the introduction that we getting rolling already in the deep stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, oh man, I learned a lot from my marriage. To be quite honest, I don't know about marriage anymore. I don't.
You don't know about it?
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. So me and my I'm currently single. A lot of people didn't know that, and it brought me to this.
This is
this deep. This breaking
single?
news.
What?
This breaking news. So
okay.
Me and my and I still love her. I still, that woman still have my heart. So I mean, it's not like, hey, get at Harry. She still has my heart, and I still have hers. It's just some. It's some difficulties in the relationship.
Difficulties. So you're not together, but y'all working through.
We're working together, and we working to raise my son together.
Okay.
And this breaking news to everybody, people in my family and everything. I wasn't
even. This is on Transparency Podcast.
Transparency Podcast, yeah. But I still love her. I still love her, and she still loves me. And whether we make it happen together, or we don't. We have a beautiful young boy together that we're gonna raise together. We have 2 beautiful, because I still look at my 2 stepchildren as my stepchildren regardless, and I'm still gonna be there forever. I've been there with them. Dude, I mean, we was going through it for a while. A lot of people. I was to be transparent. I was lying to a lot of people because I was just like, "Oh, my sweetheart," which I was trying to motivate people. You know what I mean, and talk to them. So,
So you saying you was showing something that wasn't you was portraying something that may not have been at that moment, but you was just trying to keep the peace or not let everybody know your business or something?
I was thinking that I mean, we were working through it. I'm not gonna say we weren't broken up the entire time.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
broke up, and then we got back together and was trying to make it work.
Okay.
And then eventually, like, she just said, "Hey, you working way, way, way too hard to, and it's not reciprocated through me. I gotta fix my mind and things of that nature." And it broke my heart because like I said, I'm gonna keep working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep working until the wheels fall off. And not saying that the wheels fell off. Maybe we got 4 flat tires. You know what I mean? And we was throwing a spare on there for a little while. And my mom calling me right now. We threw a spare on it for a little while, and the flat you can't keep riding with a spare tire. You know what I mean? So now
you can't ride with 4 flats either.
Yeah, you can't ride with 4 flats. So you just gotta sometimes you just gotta sit down and relax and see how it goes. And like I said, I still love her. I pray for her. And but full disclosure, I love all the mothers of my children because not in like I'm in love with her, but I do love the mothers of my children because, like I said, they have my child. They carried my children, and they sacrificed their bodies. I think I talked about that a little bit on my last night. I cried tears of joy. If you ain't listened to that, yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's been an adjustment,
right?
But I'm happy, man. I'm happy for you.
Hey.
I'm happy. There's so much love around me.
Love is important, man. You know, real
definitely.
love is important. You know, it takes
definitely.
a lot for somebody to admit when something may not be going right and love that person enough to make that decision and say, this isn't working for us, and be real with yourself and, move forward. You know what I mean? So praying for y'all to make sure, I'm praying for y'all to hopefully y'all continue to have a relationship, be cordial, take care of y'all, your children, and be, just good people, man.
Yeah, I do anything for her. And but I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. Like I still let her call me, because we still we were friends when we first started. And I let her call me and let her talk to me about things that's bothering her. And, I still do favors for her and things of that nature. If something needs to be fixed, because I'm a handyman, if something needs to be fixed around the house or whatever, like, and I'm going to continue to always be there.
What point I know, like you're saying, you always going to be there for, and that's great. I respect that. But, what point you think that you will be able to, I'm not going to say cut off, because you're always going to be there. I'm not saying that, but, have a boundary on what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. Like, do you have a boundary on that?
Well, I do have boundaries. Like, we don't sleep in the same house anymore. We don't have any relations anymore. We don't, because I feel like sometimes you have to what we were trying to do is not completely separate. You know what I mean? But I feel like the best thing to do is separate. That way she can clear her head, and to be honest with you, taking the time, like for me, I'm taking the time to, date myself now. But to answer your question, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know, if, like, if she says, "Harry, I have a flat tire," I don't know how you say, well, you gotta, okay. For instance, I normally get her gas, and she told me she had to get gas today, and I said, okay. So, and it wasn't like that, like, but I can't do the husband and the husband and the the fiance and all those type of duties, nah, so.
So I know we getting straight to this because this is
we
important.
Definitely getting right to it.
This is good. I mean, this is good because I'm curious. I need to, because it's good to understand. Because you have to have a boundary on that. You know what I mean? And as your your brother and speaking to you, and I'm just thinking of that, and I know that It's something that I went through, of course, with the mother of my child. But I had to make some rules and just have some boundaries on things that I'm going to be able to do. Like I didn't look at it again, we just separated a while ago. We wasn't like how you may be at this point right now. But I'm just saying I know it's real kind of fresh on you now. So it is that moment where you like, okay, what am I able to do or what should I be doing? How am I going to still be present, but then also still have a a clear understanding of what I'm comfortable with doing. So I'm like, as you go forward with that, I mean, hopefully you get a comfort level on, like saying no to some things.
I went through this before. I went through this before, and I think you as long as you don't take me for granted, I don't know. Like, I hate to put it out there, but my ex-wife, it was kind of like the same thing. Like when we were going through what we was going through and going through our divorce, like I still was like doing stuff for her. Okay. Because I felt like my children was there. Like, I don't want to put everything out there, but I was spending a lot of money helping her raise my children, and until she started like kind of like giving me a hard time, I don't know when I would have cut it off. And it wasn't like I was sitting there super like, oh my God, I'm in love with her, I need to help. It was more so of the, I'm leaving a house that I was the sole provider for, and my children live there. Mm-hmm. And I took care of everything, like 95% of everything, right. In the house, and she'll tell you, right? But the backlash in that is when you separate from that person, I was an enabler, and like she was kind of like lost without me. Yeah. And if you really think about it, that's unfair. Right. Because like you are treating somebody, all right, I got this, and they sitting back, they chilling, they all lean back, chilling or whatever. But, and you're allowing them to chill, because that's your queen. But eventually, you dethrone her, but she still is the mother of your children, and you still was there providing, and like you roll out, like you can't. What do you want to say? All right, I'm taking my children with me. You gonna be bitter? Oh, my kids come with me. Okay, now you're taking your children out of environment that they were comfortable in. Let alone that. So they have to. Something has to separate. So if you go. When you go, and guys might not agree with me, women might not agree with me, but this how I look at it. If you go, you were committed to your children, and you were committed to this individual, at least give her a little bit of time to get her act together. You know what I mean? And see what she can do. Like I said, I was very, very, I was very much so there for her.
Yeah, man. I definitely gotta like be honest and think about that specific, situation. Because I mean, any situation, someone solely rely on you to do everything, and a woman stays home. I mean, some women are accustomed to that.
She worked though. She did work.
No, okay. but still, but women are accustomed to like men, doing a lot of things around the house or taking care of stuff, or I'm not sure what the dynamic was exactly, but for her to feel like without you there, it's difficult for her to can carry on or take care of the children, even if it wasn't there physically, but you were still there helping out. I mean, that should be something she should be able to handle. Me, she's adult, I mean, like I don't know her personally, so I'm not I'm not judging nothing like that. I'm just talking about any relationship, I mean. I think even if a man had the children and the woman just left, I mean, of course that might be like, wow, that's a big change, but the man should still have to, he got to take care of his business. But that's when it comes to like being, a value, being valuable, right. Understanding, you should be bringing something to the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You should be knowing what kind of situation you're getting into. Right. And if you feel like that it isn't, what you want to do no more, and you feel like like this situation isn't good. I got children with this woman, or I got kids. Mm-hmm. Not just a child. You know what I mean? But like I went to something, something a little similar, like split out, but we split our separate ways, and that was what it was. But we didn't. She wasn't like in the same place. Like she went her way, I went my way, and then we just co-parented from there. Yeah. So like it's different than say if you got an apartment or you got a home and then you just left, And then now she has all the sole provided, have to take care of the bills. You got to take care of that. So I mean, I understand that, and that's when you got to go to court. You got to figure out situations and blah blah blah.
But see, even court, like so I done did it 2 different ways. So even going to court, like only time she and I went to court was for our divorce. But even in our divorce, they were trying to get her to, get like child support and all this stuff, and she was fighting that, and she even said like, she was honest with herself, knowing that, I paid for all the kids' daycare. I made sure my kids were. Listen, you have a kid with Harry Swan, your kid is going to be. I'm just going to break my. Well, obviously you can't. For the people.
You're gonna be there. You're gonna do your job.
You can't have a kid with me now, but
you're gonna do what you're supposed
I'm done. I'm done as far as that. I'm fixed.
Yeah, but you're gonna do what you're supposed to do, and that's how it's supposed to be, man.
But all jokes aside, yeah, I take pride in taking care of my children, even my stepchildren, and so and it is. I took my daughter out to dinner yesterday, and we were sitting there talking, and it just feels weird to me being like an asshole. Like she was like, "Can I get a takeout order?" And I'm thinking that she was getting a takeout order for lunch or whatever for the next day. So I'm like, "Go ahead, that's cool, right?" So kind of find out when I took her home, she texted me back and said, she texted me after I dropped off. She's like, "Dad, my mom says thanks for the food," and I was like, "If I knew you was," I was joking with her. I said, "If I knew that you was getting food for your mother, I would have said no." But all jokes aside, I don't care about doing that type of stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like God got me covered, and I'll be blessed. And like, you supposed to honor your children. You supposed to honor the mothers of your children. I know, man, it gets difficult, bro. It does, So, I feel like I do take step backs, but it gets difficult. It gets extremely difficult, even when, because it's just like I don't know what it is, but your kids are your prize. They're your prized possession. The women is not the prized possession anymore. Like I said, I done went to court to get, joint custody for my daughter. I done did everything to, you're not going to be able to keep my kids away from me for long. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the best thing you can do is just, like, if we can be cordial and we don't got to be the best of friends, but let's just raise these children together. Let's do it together. Even if we're not in the same house.
That's how it's supposed to be, man.
With respect.
You gotta, figure out a way. But back to that, order. You didn't feel a way about that? Because, I would have been like, why you just saying, ask, could I get your mom? Can I get your mom?
So I'm sorry. So she was like, my daughter was sitting there, and she was like, "Dad, do you want me cash app you?" At the table. I'm sorry. She asked that. She said, "Dad, you want me cash app?" I was like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
No, but I'm just saying, as far as like her asking for the food, not saying that she couldn't ask for to get takeout order, but I'm just saying, she didn't just say like, "This is for my mom. My mom wanted something," or did her mom know she was getting something? Like,
nah,
her mom orchestrate that?
I don't know. And be honest with you, for all jokes aside, me and her mom really don't speak at all. You know, but my daughter, like, we was at the table and she just was like, she ordered it, and like, she was like, "Dad, I'll cash app you." And in my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I wasn't, to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about her mother at all. You know
right.
So, afterwards,
right? Because she asked you for something to take to go. You're not thinking about the mom.
She ain't asked. She just ordered it. She went to the person and said, "Can I order a takeout to go?"
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "Dad, can I you want me cash app you?" What I look like?
Oh, okay.
My daughter cash app. So, like I said, her mother was out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, that's what and again, there's nothing wrong with it. I was just wondering how the situation was like mapped out. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a good question. If she would, and I probably, the kind of guy, I still probably would have said, yeah.
Of course, you're still gonna be like, yeah, why not? That's just me too as well. I just was thinking of the angle of it, like if it was specifically for her, her mom. I mean, I don't think she had to really ask you to say like, yeah, the restaurant. She can order whatever she wants, so it ain't like it's a problem with it. But then afterwards, it's like, well, mom said thanks for the food. So like, oh, okay, cool, like no problem. Like I ain't know that was for her, but cool.
the only thing I will say is if I got her to her mother could have. I think she could have said, "Hey, call your dad." You know what I'm saying? Even if she didn't want to call me, she called you. Hey, I just want to say thank you for the food. If she could have said, well, I don't like.
It just seemed a little shaky, man.
Right,
it seemed a little shaky.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like when
like she specifically mapped that out. Like I'm gonna get him to get me something.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then have your daughter do it on the slide, knowing you're not gonna ask your daughter for some money,
to
buy her some food. So it could have been that. So yeah, but that's Ken. That's the dynamics of these situations of relationships that we are in, man. It's like I don't. Yeah. I mean,
we definitely gonna talk about. Well, I ain't even get to the introduction, but we definitely gonna have to talk about because, it's a lot that goes into this. It's a lot that goes into this, bro. For sure, it really is. Like, like you said, the tricky stuff for the, the event. You never know what's on somebody's mind. They just, she might have said, "I'm gonna just get a free meal because I know how her father is." I know my ex-wife does that. She'll do that.
Right.
She used to could call me and say, "Hey, can the kids get something to eat?" And I'm not going to be petty yeti and shit. I'll be like, "Well, how much their food come up to?" She'll be like, "It'll be like 20, like say $25." Right. And I'll be like, "I know for a fact that they food not coming up for 20. Like it don't cost $25 to get it." Well, I wanted to get it.
Already know.
And I was like, "All right, don't."
Ain't no use even going through that. You know what I mean? It really ain't.
It's just petty. And to be honest with you, what's going viral right now is the I don't know if you've seen that the dad brought his own kid.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And then
bring the other kids. How you feel about that? Like,
man, these situations, man, again, every situation is different. Every relationship is different. If you got respect, if you do care about the children, you should get them all, something.
Yeah, I think so too.
But if y'all just in a relationship and you just had you had a child with this girl, or this female, or, this lady, and y'all not really on good terms, you really don't rock with the children, you ain't around the children, and you got something for your child, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, it can be both ways, but I'm going to just say, he's not wrong for getting his own child something. I mean, you can't make somebody
do something,
get something for. Yeah, you can't make somebody buy something for all of your children. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then you can just get them what they got. Just go get them something.
You know what I would do? Kind of like what I did yesterday. If I knew that game, you would get me the first time with that, like me bringing a kid food.
Right.
First time.
Yeah, because that's
the next time. The next time, can you have my son or my daughter ready? We about to go get something to eat.
Yeah, you can do that.
What's she gonna say? Can you take my kids too to go get some? This is a special time with me and my children. Man. Don't be tricky. Just don't be tricky. If
y'all not together, man. Right. If y'all not together and y'all not in the home and you're not co-parenting, or I mean, if y'all not like in a blended family.
Yeah.
Then you don't. I'm not gonna say you don't have to, but it's just out of the kind of shit how you shouldn't demand somebody to do that.
No, you shouldn't. But I just think for me, I definitely would do it. Like I would, I would do it because again, like
I mean, it get pricey. She got 3-4 children, right? It can get pricey.
Well, again,
every time you pop up with something for your son, you got to get 3 other children something that's not yours, that's not in your budget.
Well, I'm talking about food. But I see what you're saying. You talking about like just anything in general. That makes sense.
Every time you pop up with something, now it's like, well, you ain't getting all my other children. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I just got my son something. You chose my child something.
You chose the fathers. You chose who was sticking a hammer in you. You know what I mean?
Where they fall? Right.
Where they father?
That's a fact.
Go find Thor. Go find Thor with that hammer.
Where they at?
You know what I'm saying?
Ask them to bring something. Like,
that's true.
One of my, like she should be able to communicate. Like one of my my fathers of my child, or baby father, whatever she would say, brought my son something to eat. Can y'all guys bring something for y'all children?
Yeah,
I mean,
right. But I don't know. Like I said, my stepchildren, I still do. Like, I still love them, and we are not together, But I still love them to death, and I'm not gonna stop doing anything for them, ever. Like no matter what happens, like. because they mean so much to me, and we built these relationships together. So for me, I would. For my daughter's brother, like, yeah, I done did stuff for him too. But see, the thing is, like I said, I'll pick my daughter up and we'll roll out. You know what I mean? But if I was to bring something, which I never would do, I probably, because I like spending time too. Like, so I'll be like, come on, let's spend a bit together or whatever, and me and my daughter go hang out or whatever.
Right, but like you're saying, it does make more sense to be like, you don't want your child just sitting there eating while they just looking at them
that's
eat.
bad, because
so
that's
you
a
do
kid.
want to bring them on something, like, at least get them something. You know what I mean? Like, all right, just get a burger, something so they can eat. Yeah. So I understand that too about it, but I don't think he was wrong.
Nah, he definitely wasn't wrong.
For just not bringing.
She's wrong for airing them out. Like, that's, come on. And I'll never again. You fool me once. What did he say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You do that to me, you put me on, so you will listen. Those bridges get burned to the ground. Right. So
people do stuff out of the kindness of their heart, man. You can't, make somebody do something.
So
if they wanted to do it, they would do it.
I mean, and this goes along with the topic of kind of the day where we talking about values.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and read this real fast. And I need all the fellas and ladies to pay attention, because we're gonna be so transparent today. We're gonna look see-through. We are opening up our windows to our soul right now, to be honest with you, in hopes that we can all start appreciating each other. And when I say we, I mean men and women. A lot of times we find ourselves in position questioning our values. And I think our values are questioned because of the people we associate ourselves with. The circle we have around us should be like a force field of ineptitude.
Mm-hmm.
A force field from ineptitude. We should have dreams, goals, aspirations that are contagious. Everyone might not have the same goal in particular, but let's have that night owl like vision. You know what I mean? Fellas, no woman is going to truly respect you if your actions aren't commanding respect. You can talk all day long. It's a saying called talk is cheap, but that's a lie. Wasting your breath is a huge debt. And eventually your oxygen machine going to stop working, and your lungs going to shut down. And ladies, you're not innocent neither. No man wants to come home to a woman who can't fully express herself as an adult to communicate in a respectable manner. So instead of you spazzing and your man running off and he goes to a bar, meets someone, and he builds a relationship with someone who really wants to start listening to him. That's how that type of stuff gets started. But we don't want to talk about that, right? It's time to be accountable. You and your partner should find a love language and build a foundation of that, not a circle, again, of ineptitude. Brothers, we have to protect our women's heart. And I know it's difficult because women are so beautiful. It's so many beautiful molecules in a woman that makes it hard to not look at her, stare, even catcall, bro. You could put like 100 women in front of me, and I guarantee you, I could notice something beautiful about each one. But our problem in this hypnosis is we're setting up instead of stepping up. We are setting up our women, and eventually we kill them with all that ammo that we're giving them and brag to our gang, we got another body, dog. We're murderers, and I'm one of them too. But you know what else? I'm a victim too. I've been murdered. I've been set up, drive-by, women, they lied, they cheated, the whole 9 yards. And I think that's why the world is the way it is now. The value of others aren't essential because of pain, hate, and hurt. We mask our pain jumping into something else, and eventually we'll have to identify who we really are because the mask is getting what? Sweaty, uncomfortable, gets hot. We take it off. We're unrecognizable, bro. When we take it off, we look like the predator. We're monsters.
Mm.
Which leads me to this title. Who are you? I can go on and on and on. But Moody, what you got for me, bro, off of that one?
Man, that was deep, dog. I'm gonna be. That was deep, man. I mean,
Yeah,
values.
yeah,
We're
the
talking
values,
about
bro.
relationships.
Yeah,
Talking about, um, women valuing themselves, us
yeah,
valuing the way that we treat women.
yes.
Um,
Vice versa too. Vice
yeah, vice
versa.
versa too. And just the way that this nation is, I mean, just this world is,
World, bro.
you know, we don't really value relationships like we used to. It's more just valuing attention and valuing money and what I can get from you.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
so it's very eye opening to see what's going on out here in the world, man. That's
Yeah,
why it's always good to just keep genuine people around you that really do have, or hopefully have good
that circle,
intentions.
man. That circle
Um,
is deep.
Good intentions is very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do recognize what people value quick. You can tell what somebody values by just the way that they walk, talk, dress, speak. Speak, talk, you know what I mean. But
Nah, I get you.
just how they carry themselves, and what do they spend time on? What are they occupying themselves with? So man, I think it's important to value certain things. Like for me, I don't know, valuing just respect and common courtesy, respecting each other's boundaries and understanding and listening, is important. Valuing just time, um, you know, um, family, and it just sounds, simple, but a lot of people don't value these things.
Yeah, we
People
don't.
put their values in other stuff, but I do value people time. I value, um, my understanding of things. I mean, I value like just the time I put into things that I care about too. Just like, learning new skills. Communicating with people that have, godlike, just traits that really cares
Mm-hmm.
about the way that they treat people. That cares
Right,
about how they um are living their day to day life. And not worried about the perception. Because people do be perceived to be one way and they do be another whole way.
right.
But trying to be as righteous as possible is important to me, and I value that about people. Like if you come across somebody and they have like some good morals, now they ain't got to be perfect, but if they just be like, what I did was wrong, or like they really keep it stand up with you, like, yo, what I mean, I got you, what I mean, what I did, what I mean, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, just show you some real calm and courtesy, or just some real like vulnerability. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? When I see stuff like that, I value that a lot
absolutely.
because that's not really noticed. It's not really seen a lot. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, and experienced a lot.
People are
Um,
afraid to be vulnerable.
they are, man. They are. And
People
then we
afraid.
getting to a point where people, masking a lot of stuff, like you just said.
Yeah.
We
That's when
using
you gotta take
these
it off, man.
using a lot of these substances to numb ourselves with certain things, or using these
Yeah.
these habits to
Yeah.
keep us away from reality. And you know, I think mindset is important. You know what I mean? Just keeping
Yeah.
a mindset of like, trying to better yourself, trying to hold people accountable. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with, speaking and talking to people about accountability and everything, but you do got
Yeah.
to do it in a righteous way,
Definitely a
in
righteous
a
way.
way with love and care and understanding. You know what I mean? It's nothing worse than like feeling like you being dictated to, and like, again, you ain't doing nothing for me, so I ain't doing nothing for you. And you
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
and that's how the world is working now. And that's why I'm changing the narrative about things. Like the stuff, like I said, that I do for um my ex, um, I still do stuff for her. Like if she needs it done, I'm going, be there for her. Or like, my mom, like me and my mom like had it out for a while, and like, our relationship is getting a lot better. The relationships around me, the important people in my life, like like I'm trying to be like unorthodox with the stuff that I do. No matter how much pain I go through, I'm gonna stay loyal to the people that's around me. That's why I can, look at I can buy something from Texas Roadhouse, $15 meal. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what my daughter mother feel about me. It matters about what God sees. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter seeing that, she sees that her father is being a strong individual. You know what I'm saying? When I wasn't even trying to be, I was just being myself.
Yeah.
Or like I said, me, my ex-wife being able to call me about my children, and I can, I mean, I still look at it like, what the heck are you doing? But, she can call me about my children, and like I make sure it's handled. I try it where as though my children don't need for anything.
Now,
don't need for anything.
Now I know, of course, children is important, and we're gonna always take care of our children.
Right.
And going through those situations, like you say, she can call you.
Right.
Even situations with your mom. I mean, I go through similar stuff.
Yeah.
Do you understand, or do you realize or feel as though like they value what you do, or do they, or when you have a disagreement, or you like, well, I can't do this, or even if it's sometimes something may happen where as though it ain't working right or something ain't cool, like, do you feel as though like, man, they need to value what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm not getting the value that I'm not receiving I'm not receiving that grace and that reciprocation of what that that I'm receiving what I'm giving. You know what I mean? Because if you continue to do like just don't say, I'm not saying just give, and I mean we're gonna always have that spirit because that's just who we are,
Right.
But nothing wrong with just understanding. Like, look, I need y'all to understand. Like, this isn't easy for me. I'm doing things out of kindness of my heart, but I'm not receiving that. Like, are you receiving that from them?
I'm receiving the blessings from God, bro. And that's the thing I look at. I was listening to Pastor Mike on Sunday, and he's at Rock City, in Birmingham, Alabama. I gotta take it down there because this dude, he he definitely like hits hard on certain things. Like my view of things is so much more different now. So when it comes to people, like for instance, my ex, she could have kept going on because I would have kept going. I would have kept going, making sure that she was good, taking care of her, and doing anything to to make her happy. And she she finally said like, "Harry, this is not fair to you." And I said, "Listen, it ain't been that long." I said, "We done had a lot of years doing good, and like this little past like 8 months, you hit like a bump in the road, and you try and find yourself, But I have time, I have patience, But if it's for my children, man, like I said, like God is watching, man, and God takes care of me. Anything I need, like it might not seem like it's going to happen. It'd be so dark, bro. It'd be so dark for me, and I'd be like, I don't know, man, it's not going to work. And then next thing you know, boom, it's there.
Well, yeah, and it's good to understand that God is going to bless people who bless others, and have a spirit of being close to Him as much as possible in that righteous feeling. And there's nothing can touch that feeling. A lot of people will never have that feeling. Right. You know what I mean? But still, I feel like even with that, this world is important to get love and grace and appreciation from others if you do give it, even if it's something small, even when she might have said what she said and like, Harry, this isn't right, good for you. Or, you've been doing this for a while. It's not like you can't be honest in those moments and say like, look, what you're right. And I appreciate that. And I do want to help you get to a point where you can get on your feet, because this is difficult for me to continue to push and do through this, because you saying like it's dark, and I know we have conversations, and I ain't going to get into deep, but I've noticed that when I talk to you, you usually definitely going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I this has been wild. I'm going through this, and and I know life is wild. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I know it is, and it's like, holding in those moments where it's though like to say, man, we all love each other. We all got love around us. But sometimes it's important to just understand, like, I want to feel that feeling from the people I love as well.
Absolutely.
Because
No, I
I've
agree.
definitely had moments where with my brother, my mother, my wife, my fiance,
Oh, your wife now, man.
that
There
I
you go.
didn't feel that sometimes.
Super excited for you too, bro.
Yeah, and it is important to continue to persist and have that feeling of I'ma still love this. I'ma still do what I do for these people, but they're gonna understand. They gotta appreciate me too.
Yeah.
They gotta love me too. They gotta show me
Yeah.
that with these blessings that comes, because again, these blessings that do come with that, it is unforeseen. Sometimes they don't notice it because it's just, like you said, you're just doing
It's
it,
normal.
and it comes from God above, and it's like, okay, we blessing you. I'm not saying that they got to be like, well, thank God, and no, I'm not saying that. They still needs to. I feel as though they need to have an understanding and have appreciation just for that spirit, because that spirit isn't always there.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
well, for my for my my mom does a lot for me. She does. And my ex, she still does a lot for me. It's not like she doesn't do any, like she'll cook, she'll still cook for me. She got me a nice Father's Day gifts and things of that nature. Um, so it's not like it's not, you know, it's just not what I want in a like. So what I want in a relationship, if it's going to be a relationship, is that I don't need a whole lot. I just need to know that and I'm like trying to land this plane, but I don't want to sound like I don't want to put it like what I do want in a relationship is
I would say don't put it in a relationship form. I'm not saying I don't have to put it in a relationship,
no,
right?
go ahead.
But just normally how you would want to feel love, just like God
So
loves us, or
yeah,
like how you
like,
love others. That's all
but
we all really want.
but so sometimes God is not love. Sometimes I know God don't feel loved by us because we'll be in a position and we'll be doing our spoiled rendition too. We'll be running around and we talk about
But He
it's up.
always loves us, though.
Right, he always loves us, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's always
so,
there for us.
so, 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 what I do is, what I try to do is keep hope alive instead of saying hope is a lie, you know. And so, I know it's hard for people to do that, but man, like me and my daughter's relationships are getting a lot better now. Like I said, me and my mom relationship. You can't have everything. You can't have all the toys. You just can't have all the toys at one time. My thing is, maybe if I had one woman in my life, maybe if it was just me and my daughter, then okay. But we're talking about one relationship out of a relationship with my stepdaughter, a relationship with my I'm gonna stop saying stepdaughter. So all five of my daughters. Good relationship with all five of my daughters. Great relationship with both of my sons. You know, uh, um, horrible relationship with my daughter mother. A okay relationship with my ex wife, but a pretty good relationship with my ex. It's just that we're not companions right now.
Mm.
So you gotta take the good with the bad, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a death for me. Like, to be honest with you, when I found out that I could breathe without her, like I thought we were Siamese twins or whatever, and like we was side by side. We do everything together. We was just like Bert and Ernie.
It's about your ex.
Yeah, my ex.
Okay.
And we was like Bert and Ernie, and like Siamese twins. But when we separated, I can't speak for her, but I'm like, I'm holding my breath, thinking I'm going to die without her. And next thing I know, oh shit, I can breathe.
Mm.
So you gotta continue, man. You gotta continue. It's not like she's gone. It's just that relate, and who knows if the relationship will come back. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
but I do have all this other great stuff going on around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of layers to.
It's so many layers
when you talking about these different relationships you've had. And I'm gonna just say, man, I don't know how you did it. You know what I mean? We talking 7 children, 4 or 5 different relationships. You're the same age as me. And, for you to, go through that. And not say that as a bad thing or a good thing or whatever. I'm just saying
Who
to go
knows?
through
I
that,
have no clue
to go
if
through
it's a good
that
or
and,
bad
and
thing.
still have, a lot of all the relationships with your children, correct? Like
Yeah,
you can
all the
see all your
relations.
children, you can
Yeah,
have time with all of them.
yep,
You do good. You take care of them. That
yep.
says a lot about you, your character as a man and
Right.
as a human being. So I gotta respect that for sure. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah,
like I said, when it comes to like just life in general, man, like we know, people pretty much are going to be a part of our lives. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We're gonna have connections, we're gonna talk to people that we're gonna be around.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that, sometimes that, we gotta figure out ways to continue to progress like you're doing, understand what's important, put those in place, put your
And the
passions
values.
where they
Yeah.
where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you making things, you making things happen. You know what I'm saying? You're doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a platform, you're doing good. And I
Yeah.
say like me, um, I didn't want to, getting married and like, having, a lot of children and out of
Yeah.
different relationships just never wasn't my
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've dated, women and whatever. I was usually like, I have one or two that I might rock with at a
Mm-hmm.
time. I
Right.
wasn't really like into like, all right, I gotta marry this girl just because we together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that's never was a thing.
Yeah.
And I was smart, especially with like having children too. I really wasn't like that reckless to be like, I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, and it's speaking of what's going on right now, it's important for men to try to, keep that in the
Oh
forefront.
yeah, we
Just
gotta
having
talk about
sex
yeah.
unprotected and,
You got
having
nuts.
children like it's just, don't bring no children, no child in this world if you feel like you really can't do it. So I always
Right.
felt like if I really wasn't in a relationship that, that was, good for me or stable for me, I wouldn't do it. And, when I had my child, of course I still wasn't, I probably wasn't at a point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna have a child, but things that happened, I was in a committed relationship, we lived together and everything. So that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, like that's just wasn't my path. And, I'm gonna say it didn't make it no easier. I mean, I still went through stuff. I still got stuff going on in my life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I definitely feel as though like not having all those multiple relationships definitely is um a benefit to some point that I don't have
Absolutely,
to
it's a
have
benefit.
to deal with multiple women and saying
Yes.
like I got these no children, I gotta go to this house, I gotta go to that. I
Yeah.
mean, just having one and having a relationship with my lady is a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
That's
lot
a
to
lot.
go through, brother. So respect to that. You know what I mean? Again, you take care of your
Yeah.
kids, and again, having those connections also can be a benefit too as well because you do got family, you got people that do care about you, you got people who do support you, you got people who are around that can help, that you can inspire, that you can, doing what you're doing with your children. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we was talking about, the situation again, like, a man showing up to, whatever, taking care of the, his child and not the others. But you might inspire if you came with you, if you on your case, let's say you came with all the food, like, look, here go all the, for all the kids, boom. This is for all the children, not just mine. You might inspire and do, because that's something you would do. Like you said, it would help that love, show that love. Like, look, no matter what's going on, Harry is a good guy. He gonna do what he gotta do. He gonna still
Love.
be respectful, blah, blah, spread love. So don't never stop that.
I think the problem with me is that um like I continue to spread love and it might not seem genuine, but I never change and I don't sweat because I am being who I am. It is hard for me not to be who I am. So again, like um and it might be to a point where the women that because all my children came from a relationship. I had three major relationships in my life, three major relationships, and those three major relationships. No, I'm sorry, I had four relationships. One, we didn't have a child together, um, but the three we do have children together,
Mm.
and um, it just like it changes. There's a lot of dynamics. There's a lot going on. You know, I think probably by that might have been something that hurt our relationship too because um I do have children. Like so and this probably would hurt if I was to get another, like it probably hurt like man, I ain't dealing with nobody that all them kids, and I mean, they not all living with me, but my children are good children, and if you can't accept my children, then I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's something that anybody going to have to accept. Everyone,
yeah,
not everyone, but this world has um, relationships and mothers and fathers and children. I mean, it's a part of life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So if you have a trouble with somebody having a kid, it don't matter. If you really love that person and you
yeah. It
care
doesn't
about that
matter.
person
That's how it
and you
was.
want that person to benefit or progress in life, you take on that responsibility to say, look, I want to be with you and I'm going to love your child. I'm going to help your child. We're going to work together to make our situation the best and grow, help your children grow. If you're
Yeah,
not on that type of level or
yeah,
time, then
right,
you might
yeah,
as well just continue to just date and not really get
right,
serious with
and
nobody.
chill.
Because everybody may have a situation, and we call it baggage. We call it, history. Everybody got one.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I
can build.
mean?
Yeah, you can build off. Like you can build off of that, man. Like the same speech that you said just now. That's the same speech I said to my ex, and still to this day, like I said, they my peoples, man. You
Hmm.
know, I teach my daughter how to drive. I'm teaching my son how to, play football. Like we have we got a really, really good uh relationship. We're gonna have a great relationship forever.
That's dope.
And like it's not spreading me thin. Like I said, I'm having a fantastic time with them.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
They give you your joy, man. I can tell. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
understand that, life will have these hurdles, man. And again, getting this stuff off your chest, having outlets that, you can write, you can,
yep,
come up with creative things. You can, go to the gym,
yeah.
whatever you need to do.
Read the books, read
Whatever it
books.
is you need to do, you know what I'm saying? Because we understand like this life ain't easy, especially with dealing with, raising children in this day
Yeah,
and age. We got to protect them. It's already just about us being men and being
yeah,
a black man and then being unvalued and not even like again like I was just trying to just ask about like you doing all that, but are you being valued? Are you understand? Are they understanding that
yeah,
you're doing your best? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
So
we need that as men, yo. You know what
yeah,
I'm
no,
saying? We need that as black men.
you definitely
We
need
can't
to.
continue to walk around here like,
Yeah,
oh, this is just what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna still be nice, and
right.
I'm gonna take care of my business. Yo, that can
Yeah,
take a toll on you.
yeah,
It can take a toll on anybody.
yeah. You
So,
definitely. But certain people. Okay, so for full disclosure, my ex, she gives me my roses. She passed me on my back. You such an amazing guy. Blah blah blah. You take care. She'll do that. My ex wife, she looks at it as that's my job. Even though, I mean, it is my job, but she ain't going.
not gonna boast about it.
And
Not
and
gonna get a appreciation or thank you or nothing
and
for it.
that's fine. So I say all that to say, and my other daughter, she up and down with that, man. But my
Your children appreciate you though,
yeah, and
right?
that's all that matters in my opinion. So that's all that matters. The children
There
appreciate
you
me,
go.
and they know that dad will never tell them a lie. I have never lied to them about anything like that's serious. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They know that now. If they can ask their mother, hey, we can do a lot of tech tests. I sit right next to them, and mother, and you ask your dad this, they wouldn't want to do that. So I'm,
A lie
so
detector test.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
try my best to tell the truth, so I don't gotta retrace my step because I got bad memory too. That's another thing. So
Oh.
if I can I just tell the truth. But again, women, you gotta protect the men. Whether you're with us or you're not with us, like especially if you got a child, like you know, just protect them. And men, we gotta do the same. Protect our and we ain't just talking about just girlfriend, boyfriend, baby father, whatever. Your best friends, you know what I'm saying? Your best homeboys, all that stuff, all these relationships, your circle. Protect your circle, man. Protect your circle. Feed off each other and build. And like you don't know how far you can go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people, and I'm not bragging about myself, but so many people allow me into their circles from the way that I think. You know what I
Mm.
mean? They allow me in their circle, and I talk to them. And I'm not even. They're not in my circle. It's just that they allow me in their circle. To
Mm-hmm.
talk about stuff. So that's why we're here with the Transparency podcast. That's the birth of the actual Transparency podcast. I used to have a whole bunch of transparent conversations on the phone with different people. People still call me all day, every day, to get information and talk about stuff. There's so many people about to jump off a bridge, not literally jumping off a bridge, but in their mind, they ready to jump and hang themselves, and I'm able to talk and make them see it from the bright side, look at stuff from the bright side.
That's major, man.
Yeah. So
that's major. If you got people that's looking forward to hearing you speak, or you having a conversation with them, can help them out, and of course this podcast and this platform can help them out. I mean, yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's doing God's work, man. It's just like what you're saying. Like, He's blessing you because you're helping others. And that's what a lot of our calling and things that we're doing here, on this, in this area, and the people around us while we, doing what we're doing here. That's probably a big part of it, yo. You know what I mean? So
I ain't gonna lie, dude. My feelings still get hurt from time to time. I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm Sam.
All right, that's gonna happen. Yeah, no, that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. But and I'm not, I was just saying, like, I feel it sometimes too. Again, like, I didn't feel that at moments, but I do at a point right now. I feel like a lot of things are coming to full circle where, things are getting a lot more reciprocated. You know, I'm feeling. I prayed on these things, and I ain't praying I didn't pray on these things just to pray on them. Like, I really prayed on them, and I really acted and had conversations. Sat down and did the work about these things, read the word about these things, live these things, try to hold people accountable as much as possible about these things. And, it doesn't just happen with you just praying and saying, I just, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, and, hope they just, hope they change. What I'm saying? Like, it's more than that, what I mean? But there's definitely, because these relationships that we talk about, like, even with people, like, it has to take two to understand. Like, somebody not gonna know how you feel unless you have a conversation with them and tell them. They're not gonna know that you are here. They're gonna think you're doing, again, just doing what you do. Like, oh yeah, I'm good, and I'm just doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna just keep taking care of you. I'm gonna keep looking out for you. What I'm saying? I want you to be good, blah blah blah. And the strongest people who do that do have a lot of dark times that they deal with. And, it leads to different things. And, staying sane in those moments is important. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Yeah. Gotta stay sane in those moments. Definitely gotta. It helps to get that reciprocated at times. Not from that particular. Now, you might, like you said, you might get it from others. You know what I mean? And that makes you feel a little bit better. But, if you're not getting it from the ones that you really care about or that you really want it from, it's going to take a toll for sure.
Yeah, but I think people pray about stuff. Like you said, they pray for what they want. And that's kind of what Pastor was talking about too. Praying about stuff, and then you finally get it. And so people pray for stuff. I think people pray for stuff, but then pray on things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, pray, Prey. So how can you pray for something and then pray on it? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like you said, bro, you gotta do your work. You gotta roll up your sleeves too. I think everyone's an individual. Everyone looks at things differently. That's why it's so hard for people to put pieces to the puzzle together. And now you adding different scenarios. So, like, you putting two people together, like, you probably can look at somebody, just say, all right, you look at and I'll just put it in the concert format. You look at you say, okay, let's have Beyonce and Chris Brown do a song together. You'll be like, oh my gosh, man, they probably blow up the stage or whatever like that. Right. But R. Kelly, one of the greatest R&B singers of all time, did an album with one of the greatest rappers of all time. And their music didn't work. It wasn't. It was off.
I mean, I think they made some good songs together. You know what I mean? But I understand. But you know what I'm saying? The analogy, maybe you would have thought it would be a lot better, or maybe you thought you would get something a lot more impactful or whatever. But
it wasn't no Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. The Boy Is Mine. I mean, the girl is mine. I said the boy is mine. Think about Brandy and but the girl is mine. Like that type of stuff. Like what classic songs do Jay-Z and R. Kelly got? Like you would think they'd be like, oh my God, they got like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
So people put classics together, but it takes a lot. I'm just saying it takes a lot to put people together and be like, okay, this is going to work right here, and that's going to. It takes work. It's a lot of work, man.
It takes work.
Work, being humble, and like listening to the other person. Like you could see like it's like, you know. So working together. That's why when y'all hear the Transparency podcast, y'all like, damn man, y'all killing it. I know. Yeah, because we work together.
You gotta respect and the passion, and
we kill it.
Got a similar view on what we trying to convey to the people, so it's not really difficult, you know. But also, you know, like someone has to have that, you know, vision and clear and have the focus and the discipline to do so, and understanding the patience to do so. Yep. Like it's times where, you know, in moments where it's though like, all right, well, you know, I gotta, you know, come in here, do this. Of course, we're going to get it done. Or you might not be, you know, up for it or something. I got to be on like, all right, cool, boom. I might not be able to do it a certain day. You're like, all right, cool, boom. So we not like at each other like, man, we got to get this done. You know, like why you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like we not in that mode because we understand that life happens. We considerate of each other. We understand that, you know, we trying to get it. The vision is still going to be the vision. The plan is the plan. We still showing like, you know, accountability in moments, you know what I'm saying? When you need to conversate about something, well, I need to bring something to the table, we bringing it to the table. So it's not like we just disregarding each other, nothing like that. So long as you got that, then these connections and stuff can work. When in relationships and any relationship, people, women, men, whoever, those things got to be there, man. Because if you keep feeling like you being disregarded or somebody ain't really caring about what you're saying, or you know, y'all can't, you're not valuing nothing I'm saying. And it's like, yo, I ain't really, you know what I mean? I'm just going to do this, whatever, bro. I don't really care. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's levels to it.
You can't, there's no way you're going to be able to build nothing like that.
It's levels. It's levels. So, like I said, I feel like it's levels to it. So, when you reach a level and say you and your mate, you can climb up to the next level or they can climb up to the next level. All right, you might can drag them up to one flight of stairs, but you can't keep dragging a person along. No, you know what I mean? No, it's going to make you tired. You're going to meet. Yeah, you got to meet somehow. You know what I'm saying? At least, I mean, I know if your leg is injured or something like that, all right, or I'm gonna have to come back and get you or something like that. You know, so it's effort. You know,
you gotta
effort and understanding.
You gotta give people the grace and the, you know, the ability to make it to that point. You know what I mean? It's not like you just cut people off right then and there. It's like you give them coachable moments. You have conversations. You try therapy. You try groups and different groups that you can communicate with and like minds that you can bounce off ideas with and all that. But if you just sitting there and you just not doing none of that and you just picking and poking like you need to do this, do that, you ain't doing this, doing that, then that you ain't making no progress like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna work like that.
Before we go, I'm gonna tell you, if I love you, this is my children, my brothers, anyone in my family, just pray it. I do research. Like how can I be a better? I looked up, man. How can I be a better brother? How can I be a better father? How can I be?
You looked that up?
Yeah,
but you Googled it.
I look stuff up. I look at YouTube videos. I look at I listen to Pastor Jenkins today. His thing was he was talking about being a father. He was talking. What is it called? It was called. Let me. Dang man, come on. Pastor Jenkins. A father's point of view. It's only I think it's like 32 minutes. Like people feel like they have time. Like, you know, if you can sit through a Netflix special, you know, and things of that nature. And I understand you winding down, you relaxing. If you can listen to something that can make you become a better father or a better mate or a better whatever, because what I do is soup myself up. Like even right now, I'm not in a relationship right now, but what I'm doing is identifying how can I be a better husband? How can I be a better, you know, mate? How can I be better this? How can I be that? I still read stuff to see, even I'm not in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship at all.
Right.
You know, but I read
Preparing
to get
yourself.
better. I'm preparing myself to get better. Understand that, oh, that's what it is.
Right.
Okay, this is Eureka. You know? So I say to all to say, train your mind, man. Like, don't be lazy with your thoughts. And just like say, all right, man, what can I do to get better? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself every day. If you
Want to
challenge
get better.
yourself, if you challenge yourself and not be, yeah, you're gonna be tired some days. It's gonna be rainy days. You're gonna be wore out. Um, But hey, man, it's life, and the last thing I want to get is to the end of my life, and I didn't live it. And I'll leave you with this. I'm 39, right? I have been uh, hired. I've been fired. I done had the dream car. I done had my dream car when I was like 20 or something like that. No, I was 19. I had my dream car. Got
Dream car.
repossessed.
What was your dream car?
My dream car back then, I was the first person that had a Crown Victoria. I remember that I had a Crown Vic.
Okay.
And then after that, I wanted the Ford Expedition. That was like my dream car. So then I got a Ford Expedition. Coincidentally, both of those were repossessed because I valued them more than I valued anything else in life. You know what I'm saying? That's why when, people borrow, can you borrow? Yeah, I don't care. It's a car. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, not saying that anybody can borrow my car, but like, like people that you trust, why can't they borrow your car?
Yeah, right.
So I done had my cars taken. I done had a nervous breakdown before. I done had promotions. I've been married. I've been divorced. I've been in great relationships. I've been in bad relationships. Um, I done had to go to court for my daughter. My daughter didn't talk to me for months. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter didn't talk to me for another month. So it's like a jail sentence of not talking to your daughter, even though you're reaching out to your daughter. You're reaching out to her every single day, and your daughter's not responding to you. But at the end of the day, you go through that stuff and you keep fighting, you keep climbing. And I said, this stops when I turn 40. And whether I make it another 40 years or whatever, 4 years, 4 months, whatever, I am not going to live like how I lived before if I have anything to do with it. I'm going to love my life and love what I got going on, whether you want to be a part of it or you don't want to be a part of it. And I'm going to keep it pushing.
Hey, man, that's big words, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. That's definitely what it's about, man. Yeah. Love your life. Appreciate you. Try your best to make your life as fulfilling as possible, man. Do something that you're passionate about. Hopefully, you're not just gaining a paycheck when you go to your job, and hopefully you're getting something out of it. Man, we all going through. Yep. I'm working towards trying to get some purpose, and I've had purpose in the past, but now it's like a transition is coming, especially with this, this media and my ideas on where I want to be, business wise, and working around a certain type of environment. These are things that I'm working towards right now as we speak. So God is working, and you put your faith in it, you work on it, you pray on it, you live your life a righteous way. You focus on being impactful, helping others, and doing those things, and living a God-fearing life. But trying to be as close as Christ as possible, and repenting and praying and forgiving for sins. Those things can all happen, man. You know what I mean? But you gotta have a vision. You gotta work towards it. You gotta pray on it. You gotta do the work. Hey, man, love your life. Be thankful for what you got too, man.
Yep,
for sure.
Thankful. Vision boards.
That's important. I got one of them too.
So we're gonna get y'all to do some homework right now. We're gonna get y'all to do some homework right now. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself, how can you get better? It is impossible for you not to get better. Write down the people that mean everything to you. You know what I mean? Value the people that's around you. When you value the people that's around you, write down 5 things that you can do to create a better relationship with them. Evaluate your circle and see who should not be in your circle, who's bringing you down. But not only that, be transparent. Have a conversation with them. Don't just cut them off, or if give them an explanation. If they don't want an explanation, then that's fine. But it's about you making yourself better, looking yourself in the mirror. You cannot get better if people are pulling you down, but you also can't get better if you're pulling you down. So identify things, try to get better, be real with yourself, respect life, love life. That's all I got.
Hey man, that sounds good to me. I like all of that. I love all of that.
So
that's big.
Please like, share, and subscribe. I go by the name of Big O. We got Moody here.
You already know, man.
And this is the Transparency Podcast.